I'm Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads. And you may know, or you might not, that I am trying to do a little bit of a low spend year in 2024. I'm trying to just use things I already have. So basically trying to read the books I already own. And that means that I'm kind of limiting the number of books that I treat myself to this year. However, there are a few loopholes there with my not buying books, in that I am completely allowed to have any and all of the pre-orders that I have already made. And so I did make a few pre-orders before the end of last year and I'm really excited about them and I'm going to share them with you just now. These are only books that are coming out in the first half of this year. I do have one book that I've pre-ordered that's coming out in the second half of the year, but come on, I'm probably going to have more maybe NetGalley books that are up and coming by then, so I'm going to save that and share that with you later. But for now, let's just chat about books coming out between January and June. And I'm going to go through them based on publication date. The first book coming out is So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole. This cover is gorgeous. This is a Jamaican inspired fantasy which follows a god-blessed heroine, our main character, who is forced to choose between saving her sister and saving her homeland, protecting her homeland. I know that there are dragons, or there's at least one dragon in this book, and I am a sucker for a book with a sisterly relationship in it, so I'm excited. I'm excited about all of these. Book number 2 is You Wouldn't Catch Me Dead by Tess James Mackay. This is a NetGalley book. This is an ebook, so I didn't buy anything here. This is about a woman who is trying really hard to get into a specific university, and part of her enrollment or application process leads her to having to go camping in the Welsh wilderness with a bunch of people that she maybe wouldn't normally want to spend time with. And it seems like our main character is running from something that may have caught up with her, because the campers start to get picked off. We know what I like. Pick them off. Pick them all off. Moving on to February. I've got poetry. I know, who am I? Poetry. I've got Poems by Len Penny. Len is a Scottish poet and writes in Scots language. And that is all I know about this collection. Because it's poetry, I was a little bit reluctant of doing some research. I didn't want to spoil a poetry collection because it will, I think, be quite short. So I want to just be able to enjoy it. And yeah, poetry. Who knew? Next up is Fath Folk by Eliza Chan. This is another book that I got on NetGalley, and I have been putting this one aside because I wanted to read it in the month where it came out, which is February. This is another gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Oh, it makes me just so excited. Like, if that is how the cover looks, imagine what's going to be inside it. This is a fantasy story surrounding a revolution between the human race and the Fath Folk. So sirens, sea witches, kelpies, basically water dwellers. Is that water dwellers? Yeah, water dwellers. And this is inspired by East Asian mythology. I mean, I know what I like. I like some mythology. Our main character is half siren and she is a guard, and kind of realizes that she can maybe use that power to help her people. And I'm so excited about the whole like revolution, the fight between those in the water and those on land. Oh, excited. March is the month where I have the most. Is there a reason so many books are coming out in March? Because I've got five books coming out in March that I'm giddy with glee about. First is yet another gorgeous cover, The Poisons We Drink by Bethany Baptiste. This takes place in a country that is divided between humans and witchers. And on the sort of witcher side, there is a woman called Venus who brews potions, love potions. that are, you know, illegal, but she's got to make a living. And Venus, her mother is killed, and she gets a chance for revenge. Love me a revenge plot. And I love a wee bit of magic, and there is a sisterly relationship in this book too. And I kind of like the whole like potions as weapons. Oh, it's gonna be good. I've heard rave reviews about this one too from people who have had advanced copies. Next up is Lore of the Wilds by Annalise Brana. Again, a gorgeous copy. This is a romantasy. So I am kind of trying to get into romance a little bit, and what better way than with a fantasy romance, which I do, to be honest, read quite. Do I read a lot of them? I feel like I do. Maybe I used to and I don't anymore, but I'm excited. This, I think, might have a romantic sort of love triangle with two fae gentlemen and a human. Our main character lives in a village that is like trapped within a forest. I love me a forest book. Love it. And she's desperate for a taste of some freedom, and she makes a deal with a fae lord. And I mean, deals with the fae don't always go according to plan. Some trickery, some deception may take place. She gets to go to this enchanted library, which is filled with cursed doors, and only humans can sort of enter certain parts and the fae can't, which is why she's quite important to them. And she kind of becomes reliant upon the two fae, and I don't know, is she going to choose? Does she have to choose? I don't know. I'm going to find out. I'm very excited about it. I love the idea of there being like a cursed forest and a magical library with curses, and like a, ooh, hunky man here, hunky man here. Good for her. Well, yeah, roll on march. Excited about this. I have Where Sleeping Girls Lie by Farida Abike Ayamedi. I pre-ordered this book knowing nothing about it, purely on the fact that it was written by the author of Ace of Spades, which I loved, and went, I have written another book. Bing! Pre-order! Now I actually know what this book is about though, and I'm so happy that I pre-ordered it because I'm excited to read it. This one is a mystery thriller surrounding a young lady who has gone off to this prestigious school. She's previously been homeschooled, so it's kind of a bit unsure of what to expect from this new academic setting. And while she's there, all sort of nervous, anxious about what her future holds, her roommate goes missing. You know, welcome to the school. Here's your roommate. Ash has disappeared. Not the best start for her. And she starts to think there's maybe a little bit more behind the reason why her roommate disappeared. And she starts looking into it. There is a clique in this, so I think I'm going to get sort of the thriller missing girl element. And dare I hope that there's a creepy clique? I do. I dare to dream about that. So hopeful that that's going to play into it too. And then, while everything's being looked into, murder happens. Murder happens. And things escalate. I think this is the only author that I've read from before. Nope, talking rubbish. This is one of two authors that I've read from before in this list, and I've been delighted, and I'm excited to read a second book. Another author I have read before is Sulari Gentile, and this is the mystery writer. I read The Woman in the Library last year, loved it. It just narrowly missed out on being on my favourites list, just by a tiny bit. I loved it. So when I saw that this author had another book, and that book was on NetGalley, I've never requested quicker. This is about an author who goes to stay with her brother, and she finds herself drawn into a sort of hidden literary world, an underbelly, and her mentor is found brutally killed. There's a lot of murder going on in my most anticipated reads. It's just, here we are. She wants to find justice. She wants to find out who did it. All the signs point to it being her brother. And she feels she has to protect him. And we've just got some sort of, again, a sibling relationship, fierce protection. And like, oh, who did it? Did Gus do it? I don't know. But I'm very excited to find out. And my last March book is Dead Girls Walking by Sammy Ellis. Again, Look at all these gorgeous covers. This is a YA slasher. I love a good slasher film, book, but I am scared of everything. So in books, I prefer YA horrors. They're still scary, but I feel like I can cope with them a bit better. This surrounds a woman who is looking for her dead mother's body at a summer camp. And that summer camp just happened to be her father's old home. Her father was a serial killer, and she sort of feels like evil runs within her, and she wants to find her mother's body. It's said to be buried there. While looking for her mother's remains, murder happens, and it kind of looks like there's maybe a copycat, a fan. The serial killer has fans. That's weird that he would have fans, but that happens in real life. And it kind of looks like, oh, you know, who else is in there? Who else is up to no good? And I'm excited yet scared about this one, but like more excited than scared. I feel like March is just my bumper month for everything. Everything's coming out in March, almost. Because in May, I have Glasgow Boys by Margaret MacDonald. This is about the power of identity, community, and the Scottish working class. It's a coming of age story in Glasgow, and it looks at masculinity and hope. We have a young protagonist who is going off to university, he's coming out of care, doesn't really have a support network, and he's just struggling. He's struggling to, you know, live and to study. And in addition to that, he has an old friend. They're no longer friends. Something happened while they were both in care, in the same care home, and things begin to unravel, and we get to kind of know what happened there, and sort of they get to heal a little bit. And my final book that I'm really excited about for the first half of 2024, I lied when I said there were only 2 authors I'd read from before. There are 3. Because, oh, who is this? Please welcome to the stage one of my favourite authors, Kaylin Bayron, with Sleep Like Death. This author has never let me down, and I don't think she ever will. So I'm excited. This is a Snow White inspired tale. And in this world, there are curses. There's a woman whose mother was cursed to turn into a songbird, and she has the ability to talk to animals and make weapons out of nature. Yes! She has been training her whole life to defeat this evil knight. He is the one that twists these wishes into curses, and he's led to all of this trouble going on, and she is getting ready to go and battle him with her weapons that she has made using the power of nature. I hope there's a swarm of birds that she like controls, and that would be, I'm just thinking of the Little Mermaid now. That would be fantastic. So our protagonist feels finally ready to go and face down this demon basically, and the queen starts to not be okay. And it looks like our protagonist is gonna have to kind of make a decision about whether to save her family or to save her kingdom. I'm really excited about this. I feel like I've always had a good time with this author, and oh yeah, so these are my most anticipated reads of 2024. I'm so excited. I have such a variety. Saying that, it's heavy on the fantasy, heavy on the murder, but strong on the strong female leads. I like what I like. I would love to know if you are excited about any of these books, or if there is anything that you've maybe pre-ordered, got an advanced copy of, and you're just giddy with joy about getting to read. I'm still feeling so excited about this year. I have so many amazing books, and I hate that there's not enough time to read everything. I just want to sit and devour every single book, but like I need to sleep and work and exist. There's just not enough time, but I'm definitely going to be trying my hardest to prioritize these books into my monthly reading, because I want to read them. Thank you so much for watching.